Hi everyone and welcome to the Hair Loss Show. In today's episode we're going to talk about paralutamide, so stick around.
Welcome to the Hair Loss Show. Dr. Russell Knudsen and Dr. Vikram Jayaprakash discuss issues relating to hair loss and the medical and surgical treatment of hair loss in both men and women.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Hair Loss Show. I'm Dr. Vikram Jayaprakash, and in today's episode we're going to talk about paralutamide. Now this has been a question that we've had on the channel for many months now, and it's one of those things that we want to at least have a discussion about. So paralutamide is a anti-androgen and is currently being studied as a topical anti-androgen. So it's not available yet, it's not on the market, but there are early data points suggesting that it may be useful. So today's episode is just probably to touch on that, introduce this as a topic, and probably the end point is, well, let's wait and watch and see what the outcome is. So let's talk about it. So paralutamide, it's current, it's also known as K826. And like I said, it's an anti-androgen medication that is currently being studied as a topical anti-androgen. So what does that mean? Well, when we look at androgenic alopecia, we know that there's a hormonal component there, and we've talked about this before, but we know that testosterone gets converted into dihydrotestosterone. And current therapies that we use to manage this, like finasteride and dutasteride, what they do is there's an enzyme called the 5-alpha reductase enzyme. And so finasteride and dutasteride, what they essentially do is blocking this enzyme, which will block the conversion of testosterone to dihydrotestosterone and therefore lower the level of dihydrotestosterone in the system. Now, one of the issues with that, amongst many things, is that the side effect profile associated with finasteride or dutasteride is in large part due to the reduction in DHT levels. So that's one mechanism of how these things work, but paralutamide doesn't work in that way. What it's doing is at the level of the hair follicle where DHT is floating around, what it's doing is it's trying to block the effect of DHT at the level of the hair follicle. So it's not allowing DHT to bind to the receptor there. So the amount of DHT that's floating around the system doesn't change. It's not allowing it to affect the hair follicle, which in theory is fine. What we don't know is, well, what are the downstream effects of actually blocking the receptor? And that's the bit that still requires study. But what we do know so far is that paralutamide has been going through the motions of getting FDA clearance, and it's been studied both in the US and in China, and is currently finished their phase 2 and progressing onto their phase 3 trials. And we know that certainly the studies that have come out of China, they've studied about 125 people in a double-blinded randomized control trial, and the results have been pretty impressive so far, because the total hair counts have improved, and those improvements are on par, sometimes even better than the minoxidil and finasteride in comparison. Certainly it's better than the placebo arm of that, the treatment arm of that study. But also the other thing that's encouraging is that in the studies that have been reported, there are virtually no side effects. Certainly no side effects, such as sexual side effects that has commonly been attributed to finasteride. The side effects that have been reported are more localized side effects, so skin irritability, etc. But no real systemic side effects. So I think they're trying to fine-tune the dose. Like I said, it's a topical solution. The concentration that has shown the most sort of benefit or advantage seems to be around the 5% applied multiple times, twice a day. But like I said, that's still in the study phase, and we're waiting certainly the results of the phase 3 studies. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to at least open the conversation of paralutamide. It's not freely available. It's not available. You can't run out and add it to your treatment arm. We're certainly not using it here. But hopefully that gives you a little bit of information about what this medication is, how it works, and where we are, and what the sort of timeline is before we start to see further data. So we look forward to the results from the phase 3 trials, and when we get more information, we'll be forthcoming with that. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care.